Hey, everyone, and welcome to Transforming Your Sales Strategy to a Post-COVID World. I'm really excited that you're here with me today as we talk about a really important topic. So, what do you sell? When you think about that, and when you're asked that question, what do you sell? How do you answer it? Well, most people say, well, they sell office furniture or interior solutions, while others might say carpet or flooring or some other product that completes a space, whether that's an interior or an exterior space. Now, while all of this is true, the fact is we sell products and solutions that help our clients improve or transform their workplace. When asked why customers buy, you get a list of answers that include things like they have a problem to fix, they need something new, or they're growing and need additional office space for people to work in. We respond to the needs of our clients, whatever they are, whenever they arise. We don't just sell, we are here to help them and to support them. While all of this is accurate, what we really sell can be summed up in one word: change. We sell change. Think about it for a minute. Every time you sell a customer a product or a service, it's because they are making a change of some sort in their business, and we are supporting that change. They are growing and moving to a new facility, change. A new CEO comes on board and needs or wants new furniture, a new office, change. The old space is outdated and doesn't support their new workforce, change. If you think all you sell is products, you're wrong. You sell change. Every time a client purchases a product from us, something is changing with them. From a simple purchase like a task chair to a complicated project or a new facility, each purchase indicates something is changing with them. Now, sometimes this change can be good and indicates that they are moving forward, though other times it can be painful. Think about right now, a customer that is downsizing or liquidating their facility because of a downturn in their business. Their employees are working from home. All of this is change. And right now, everywhere you look, everything around us is changing. Change is everywhere. It is literally all around us, and it's not all good. There is no doubt that the effects of COVID will linger in our lives, our businesses, our economy, and our world for many years to come, if not decades. And a lot of the side effects are bad. Let's look at a simple few statistics, if you will, that have a direct impact on our industry. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the unemployment rate is 10.2%, and there are over 30 million people currently collecting unemployment benefits. Manufacturers in our industry are indicating that sales are reporting that sales have declined anywhere from 25 to 45%, and companies are downsizing their real estate portfolios. According to recent reports, traditional lease periods of 20 years will likely be reduced to 5 to 7 years. And Small Business Trends reports that up to 67% of companies expect work from home to be permanent or long lasting. And as we've all heard in the news, companies like Facebook, Salesforce, Google, Twitter, Zillow, and many, many more have told their employees that they can work from home until the summer of 2021. And as reported by the Monday Morning Quarterback on Monday of this week, a newly released report by KPMG finds that 68% of large company CEOs plan to decrease their office footprint. Regardless of your role in our industry, all of these statistics and many more point to a significant and likely permanent change in our industry. What does that mean? Well, it means we have to evolve and change as well. All you really have to do is type a few words in Google to find out and to learn more about the statistics that will impact what we do, how we sell products and services to our customers from here on out. But let's take a moment and let's look at a few of the non-statistical, if you will, or more unofficially reported information. Design firms have indicated that they will not see vendors in their office until at least January 2021. In general, customers are not interested in seeing you, especially in person, for a long time. And if they do meet with you in person, you guessed it, you're going to be physically distanced and wearing a face mask. Projects that are moving forward have increased and greater competition. And if you get to the mock-up phase of a project, it's likely that customers are not going to allow you to make an in-person presentation. And office furniture dealers report little to no new business activity. Now, I'm not sharing all of this with you to create an environment, much less a presentation about doom and gloom. In fact, it's just the opposite. I truly believe that right now is a great time to be in our industry. Through all the difficulties and challenges that we've faced over the last 6 months, the future is bright and exciting, but only for those who have the courage to realize a few things. Our industry has changed forever. Things will not go back to normal or to the way they were prior to March 2020. And now is the time to transform your business and your sales strategy to meet a post-COVID world. Hey, I'm Sid Meadows, and I'm the founder and principal of Embark CCT. And it's really nice to meet you. And I'm glad that you guys are here with me today. I'm a business strategist and coach. My focus is on high performance and growth. And I work with business owners, leaders, and salespeople in the contract interiors industry every day. I've been in this industry my entire career, and I've worked in a variety of roles, from an individual contributor at an office furniture dealership to a senior vice president of sales for a fast-paced manufacturer. There is no doubt I am passionate about our industry and what we do, and most importantly, about the success of your business and our people. Today, not only do I professionally advise and coach people across our industry, I am a columnist for the Business of Furniture magazine, where I write about topics relevant to growth and professional development. I'm also the host of the Trend Report podcast, which is focused on having real conversations with real people about real issues that we are facing today in our industry. For example, this week's podcast is with Kay Sargent, the Director of Workplace from HOK. And Kay and I had a conversation about the emerging ecosystem of work and the importance of facing head on some of the issues that our industry is facing. And there's no doubt some of those issues can be significant, and the challenges and the shifts that are happening are going to impact us for a long time. As such, I would like to share with you my thoughts on transforming your sales strategy to a post-COVID world. But before I get into the details of the sales strategy, let's define the word transformation. You know, this word transformation, it gets thrown around a lot. In fact, I use it almost daily, especially with my clients, as we talk about the transformation that they are looking for or need in their business in terms of what it's going to take to really move their business forward. But what does transformation really mean? Well, according to Deloitte, there are many different meanings for the word. But for our purposes today, as they indicated in their recent report entitled Thinking Big with Business Transformation, the 6 Keys to Unlocking Breakthrough Value, they said that in a world of unprecedented disruption and market turbulence, transformation today revolves around the need to generate new value, to unlock new opportunities, and to drive new growth to deliver new efficiencies. And this, my friends, requires us to rethink how we create value today and in the future. It requires us to think big. Why? Because small changes and improvements aren't likely enough to win in today's environment. Now, Deloitte said that there were 6 keys to unlocking breakthrough value while discovering how to transform your business. Now, I'm not going to talk about all of these in detail, but I do want to set the stage for you as to how you should go about starting your transformation process. And then from there, I'm going to dive into the 4 core elements that need to be part of your sales strategy. So Deloitte says to begin with a strategy-informed ambition. A sound strategy serves as the foundation for a broad range of decisions, resource allocation, and performance expectations. It helps you shape an executable ambition that is the value that should come from your transformation. From there, they say to lead with capabilities. Now, focusing on critical capabilities can help you deliver greater value, help you drive a competitive edge, and help you realize your transformation ambition. From there, they talk about the drive to value, defining the value you expect or need from the transformation of your business, which is the thread that links your business strategy and your transformation together. Now, then they say to go on and talk about built in sustainability. Real value emerges over time when sustainable change endures. Now, this is about putting the right capabilities, competencies, and change adaptive culture in place for sustained long term growth. And wrapping us up, Deloitte said, be agile and flexible. Be open, agile, and flexible to help deliver wins and a process that aligns with the desired transformation outcome. And finally, invest in program talent. This is about making sure that the right talent is leading the transformation. So many organizations make the mistake of not investing in their top talent to support the transformation. So, to recap what Deloitte said, begin with a strategy of informed ambition as the foundation of the expectations of the transformation that focuses on the capabilities you can use to drive a competitive edge in your business, with a focus on connecting the value of your strategy and transformation together with built-in sustainability that creates a culture for sustained long-term growth. Be sure to be agile and flexible and open to new thoughts and ideas while investing in the right people or team to lead your transformation. Now, this may not be easy, but it's necessary in today's ever-changing environment. So let's look at the 4 core elements that really need to be part of your sales strategy and plan moving forward. For now, I'm just going to highlight these 4 elements, and then we'll look a little closer at each one of these individually. The first element is expert and becoming an expert. The second element is to be sure that you are focused on the right problem to provide the solutions your clients need. The third element is enablement and focusing on the key activities to set your sales team up for success. And the fourth one is about embracing the digital age to add value, create demand, and drive revenue and profits. So let's dive in. You know, the dictionary defines expert as someone who has a comprehensive or authoritative knowledge of a skill or in a particular area, for example, like a financial expert. Now, Wikipedia defines expert as someone who has a broad and deep competence in terms of knowledge, skill, and experience through practice and education in a particular field. Experts are called in to give their advice, offer their opinions on their respective subject matter. Now, let me ask you, in our product forward industry, we traditionally approach this as being a product expert. So if I were to ask you to tell me about these chairs or similar ones from the brands that you sell, you'd likely be able to dive right in, right? You'd be able to give me all the details and the specifics. And that's great because knowing your products is really important. And so if you're not familiar with these 2 chairs, this is the Human Scale Liberty chair on the left and the Sit On It Focus chair on the right. But again, regardless of the brands that you sell, I'm sure that you could speak to the features, benefits, and the cost of the task seating that you sell, correct? But what if I ask you about this space? What would you say? Well, if you're like most, you'd say, oh, this is an open plan work environment with height adjustable desking or benching. It has a meeting area and some storage space. And whether or not you have the exact products in this image within your product library, you can absolutely create at this same type of space for your customers, right? But do you realize or notice that this space was specifically designed to incorporate biophilic design as an element by the use of natural lighting and plantscaping? Additionally, this office design incorporates the neighborhood approach, which is a critical element of a critical element of designing a space that supports neurodiversity in the workplace. And that allows you to enhance the creativity within the space. This neighborhood approach doesn't divide space by purpose, but rather by team. And that is exactly my point. We need to become industry experts and not product experts. As I said a minute ago, yes, your products are important, but what's more important is your ability to assist your customers with designing and furnishing spaces that uniquely work for them and support their vision, mission, goals, and objectives. And that means knowing our industry as an expert, not just products, specifications, or selling points. So, how do you become an expert? How do you prepare to be the expert that your clients need and want? Well, it all starts by becoming a student of our industry. I truly believe that one of the best ways that you can establish yourself as an expert is by becoming a student of our industry. Learn as much as possible from as many different people and resources as possible. Now, what's great about this learning methodology is that it gives you information from different perspectives and makes you knowledgeable in a lot of areas. And it gives you the opportunity to share those thoughts and things that you've learned with other people. The more you learn about our industry and your given role, the better that you can serve and support both your colleagues and your clients. The fact is, we all gravitate to those with experience and expertise. And how did they get that? Well, they developed it over time by being a student of the industry, listening, absorbing, learning, and implementing. If you want to stand out from the crowd, learn as much as possible about our industry and be able to share your knowledge with others. We all have to start somewhere, though, and I get that. It doesn't matter where you are in your career. If you are truly a student of our industry, you can become an expert. So, what does this expert element of your sales strategy mean in practical terms? Well, it means that you need to spend as much time, if not more time, training and educating your staff and your team on industry specific topics and not just product specific topics. So think about this for a second. When was the last time that you hosted a training for your team on biophilic design or neurodiversity in the workplace or some other industry related topic? So let me ask you this. Why do you think licensed interior designers are so knowledgeable about our industry? To maintain their license, they are required to attend upwards of 15 hours of CEUs each year. And as a result, they have a learning mindset. Salespeople and sales teams need to adapt the same mindset and focus on learning and growing, especially now. Things in our industry are changing and changing fast. And in order to drive the sales and revenue that you need, you absolutely have to invest in training. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. Would the CEO of a Fortune 100 company want to listen to you define in great detail the features and benefits of your open plan solution and why, regardless of your price point and lead time, that you have the right solution? Or would they rather have a conversation with you about how effectively designing and furnishing their space that you can provide solutions that foster the growth of their team, increase productivity, and create sales and profit increases they've never seen before, all of which will have a long-lasting positive impact on their organization. Okay, I think you know the answer to the question, right? It's obvious. They'd rather know how you can provide a positive impact on their business. And it starts with you becoming an industry expert. So let's take a second now and let's explore the next core element of revamping your sales plan, and that is the problem. Have you ever thought about what we do as solving a problem? Remember, we discussed just a couple of minutes ago that what you really sell is change. So understanding how the change your customer is experiencing allows us critical insights, if you will, on solving business problems for them. And that is critical to our success, being a problem solver. However, as I mentioned, in our industry, we are so focused on selling products that sometimes we lose sight of why the customer is buying in the first place. Let me give you an example. So in an experiment that I have conducted for almost the last year, I asked salespeople in our industry to do it. The salespeople were at a variety of different companies and a variety of different experience levels. Okay. And I said, hey, let's do a sales role play. And I want you to sell me 1,000 task chairs. Here's the interesting thing. 99.5% of them jump right in and start asking me questions about the type of product that I want and the features that I'm looking for. They are focused on the product, which makes them product-centric sellers. But really the interesting part about this is that only 0.5%, a half a percent of them asked me business-related questions about why I was purchasing 1,000 new task chairs. And these select few are problem-centric sellers. They were focused on me and my needs and well beyond the features and benefits of the actual product. They asked me questions that engaged me, that gave me the opportunity, that gave them the opportunity to get to know me as a customer. They learned about my business and the challenges that we were facing. And they did this by asking open-ended questions that forced me to respond with a meaningful answer that's much more than a one-word response. They used stories or examples of how they helped other clients solve similar problems that they not only looked for, but they exposed the gap between my current state and my future state where I really want to be. They also discovered new and additional opportunities for more business. By being a problem-centric seller versus a product-centric seller, you have the opportunity to gain a competitive edge, to be a consultant and a solution provider, not just someone who sells products. But why is this important? Because it will lead to more sales and more profit. The other reason it's important is because your competition will resist changing to an expert and knowledge-based selling strategy. Why? Well, you see, again, we are a product-centric industry, and challenging salespeople to become problem-centric is difficult. The real reason for this is that from the time we take a job in our industry and we walk in the door of the company that we're working for, the conversation is always about the products that we sell, then about the processes in our organization, and then about our people. It is almost never about the customers that we have, much less how we as the experts can solve those problems. Being a problem-centric seller channels us into what our customers are struggling with and forces us to research the customer, connect with them on a different level, get to know them better than they know themselves, discover that gap between their current and their future states, makes us better salespeople and makes your organization better. And all of these things require change. And as humans, Yeah, we don't like change. In fact, we do our best to resist it. Why? Because change takes us out of our comfort zone and makes us feel as though we've lost control. Now, I'm sure right now, all of you are thinking about someone who is resistant to change and that this will never work in our industry and with your organization. Well, I'm here to tell you it has to work. Changing and adapting right now is exactly what your business needs in order to thrive. So once you discover your customers' main points and what they're facing, how do you incorporate the problem as part of your sales strategy? The simple answer is the same way that you became an industry expert, and that is through education and training. What I am suggesting is that you invest in your organization, your people, and your growth. And now is the time to do that. Specifically to the topic of becoming a problem centric seller and providing dynamic solutions to your customers, I'd recommend that you start with a sales guy, Keenan, and his book, Gap Selling. However, I'm just going to tell you, you have to keep an open mind when reading this book or going through any of his trainings. Because at every page turn, you're going to say, this will never work in our industry. But as he will show you, it absolutely will. If you want to get ahead of your competition, grow your business, and thrive in a down economy, becoming an expert and a problem identifier and solver is absolutely the path to go down. Now, in addition to this, and to help you reach the next level of success that you want and need, it's important to understand our next core element, which is enablement. So, in order to create the most effective sales team, you have to enable them to be successful and to be effective. And that means that sales enablement should be part of your strategic plan. So, what exactly is sales enablement? Well, it's the process of providing the sales organization with the information, content, and tools that help them sell more effectively. Now, the foundation of sales enablement is to provide salespeople with what they need to successfully engage the buyer throughout the buying process. Now, this concept is actually relatively new and has not really made it into our industry just yet. And again, I think that's because it's driven by how we sell, which is we're so focused on products that we're product centric industry and product centric sellers. But you see, sales enablement focuses more on the buyer than on the salesperson. And it's important to be sure that you provide sales with the resources that your buyer needs and wants. Let's look at a quick example, okay? You think about it right now. What does your prospective client need and want from us and from you right this very minute? What do they need? Well, if you answered that question with information about strategies of bringing employees safely back to work, or trends in corporate real estate, or implementing remote work strategies, or even leading and equipping remote teams, then you are absolutely 100% correct. These topics, these issues, and many more are at the center of concern right now. And these questions are exactly what your sales team needs to be able to be prepared to answer. They need to have strategic solutions for, and they need to be able to talk about this. Okay, so why is this important? Well, sales enablement delivers a really compelling benefit. It actually allows a large number of salespeople to achieve quota in a scalable, predictable, and repeatable fashion. Another way to put it is that it actually is designed to democratize the sales organization so that you are no longer dependent on a handful of superstars to drive your overall revenue goals. Now, sales enablement plays a key role in scaling your organization beyond a handful of overachievers. It provides all salespeople with best practices, knowledge, tools, and resources required to be successful. Think for just a second and imagine the impact your sales team could have if they were all armed with the same powerful knowledge, resources, and tools. Now, another key reason why this is important is that companies with sales enablement as part of their strategy and their culture and their daily practice see a 15% increase in their win rates. Again, think about that for just a minute. What does a 15% increase in your sales mean for you and your organization right now? What does it mean? It means a lot. So, how is enabling your sales team implemented and practiced? Where do you need to start? Well, there are a few basic principles that you need to understand. First, you need to define and declare the specific objective for your program. At a high level, your program should focus on helping salespeople sell more effectively. And this starts with providing them with everything they need to engage and convert buyers. Make the buyer's experience the foundation of your sales enablement program. Given that sales enablement is about empowering salespeople to engage the buyer, it makes sense that you would want the buying experience to be at the cornerstone of your efforts. Create and use high quality content. Content has become the force multiplier today, especially of most sales organizations. Things like blog posts, white papers, webinars all allow salespeople to deliver a lot of value to a prospective buyer in a scalable, controllable way. In fact, really good salespeople are now using content as a crutch, preferring to let the content do the talking. And my favorite one of these, make sales training an always on continuous effort. Sales training is a big part of sales enablement. This is where salespeople really learn how to sell more effectively. And finally, ensure that salespeople are leveraging what you provide. Even the best sales enablement program can die a quick death if no one is watching how sales uses what's provided to them. It is critical for sales management to enforce the use of best practices, content, and tools within the sales organization. Okay, so now who owns this, right? Who owns sales enablement within your organization? Well, actually, it should be jointly owned between sales and marketing. There are a few simple organizational rules that can really help you structure your program. The first one is that both sales and marketing must collaborate on what resources are needed for the program. Now, common resource requirements might include things like content, conversation guides, and that sales training that we talked about. Secondly, marketing is usually responsible for creating the majority of this information. And third, marketing actually should bear most of the responsibility for actually training the sales organization. And finally, it's up to sales management to make sure that the sales enablement program is in fact being put into practice. So let's look for just a second now about, okay, how do you make this work? Well, sales and marketing must work together. And if you don't have a true marketing person as part of your staff right now, that's your first step. Hire them. In today's environment, marketing is one of the most critical things that you need to be focused on. Now, once sales and marketing are aligned, you have to define your goal and the process so that the content can be created. Next, you'll need to ensure that you have and are effectively using a CRM. The platform is irrelevant, doesn't really matter as long as you have one and you're using it and it's being used every day. Next, if next, if you don't already have this within your organization, it's important that you implement a coaching culture with your sales leaders and your salespeople. Now, this means weekly accountability for their activities, providing support, guidance, and feedback, and much, much more. It means that you have to coach and actively engage your teams. Then you need to set up metrics to measure your progress and your success so that you can continue to adapt and move forward and change as it's important. Sales enablement is about you not only delivering, but also controlling the message in your market and what your customers hear about you and your organization. You know, statistics actually indicate that before you ever meet a prospective customer, over 70% of them know who you are and have either researched you or your company. Be sure that you know what they're finding and do your best to be able to be the one to provide the information and to control the message. Here's an example of this. You know that a lot of prospective buyers actually will look you up and your organization up on Glassdoor. If you're not familiar with that website, you need to check it out. And I would ask you, have you researched what current and former employees have posted about you on this website? If not, you really should go look. Though sales enablement is similar to a popular role in our industry right now, which is customer experience, true sales enablement actually happens well before the client ever becomes your customer. Let me give you a couple of quick examples of how this might work for you right now. Now, in our first example here is to provide value to your customers. In this example, directly from LinkedIn, Ginger is offering a free download on the predictions of how COVID-19 will impact mental health. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you that I like about this. It's relevant, especially right now. Mental health is an extremely important topic in today's environment. Also, this is super clear. You know exactly what this report is, you know who it's for, and you also know how it's going to help you. And then it captures something very, very important for sales enablement. To get this report, you click that download button, and the prospect is taken to complete a form. That's short and simple form, but by them filling out the form, you get the prospect's email address, which is literally the golden ticket to effective marketing and sales enablement. Now, let's look at what not to do. So I'm going to show you the good and I'm going to show you the bad. So let's look at what not to do. Don't sell. I know you're thinking, what? Don't sell. Going straight to the sale may work in the short term, but in the long term, it dilutes your brand and causes clients and prospects to disengage with you. This is a perfect example of that. Now, I don't know this company or their products. And though this is a much needed product right now, let me tell you what's wrong with this LinkedIn post. First, it is 100% focused on getting you to buy and buy right now. There is absolutely no value in this post. And additionally, 2 links are bad. The client that might see this, not really sure which link that they should click. So having 2 call to actions, if you will, is a really bad thing. And then if you've noticed by looking at this, you'll see that this company has almost 20,000 followers. That's a lot of followers. And this post got 19 likes and no comments. What does that tell you? Most people are scrolling right past this type of post. Now, this could actually be more effective if it had some form of a call to action that directed the customer to complete a form or that provided some other type of value to them. Most people keep scrolling right past this type of post. So now this could be more effective again if it had some type of call to action to it. But don't get me wrong, this can work. But actually, it's better directed to your audiences on Facebook and Instagram where they're actually shopping and buying. Incorporating a sales enablement strategy into your business will not be easy, but it is necessary. The primary reason businesses invest in sales enablement is to improve the quality of your customer engagement, but it starts with marketing and brand awareness. Give your salespeople what they need to create a competitive edge for you and for them. They need to be able to move quickly, think fast, and access the content wherever business takes them. Keeping your sales team's requirements at the forefront of your content development and management will increase a customer engagement, which is really the essential to getting the most out of your sales enablement investment, which now leads us to our fourth and final, and probably my favorite, component of the new sales strategy, which is digital. There are 370 million people that live in the US, and based on a report by Internet World Stats, in the quarter ending June 2020, just a couple of months ago, 332 million people were active on the internet. That's a 208% increase over the past 10 years. Think about that for just a minute. 90% of the US population are using the internet on a regular basis. That statistic alone should be enough for you to understand the potential impact of implementing a digital strategy as part of your plan. So what is a digital strategy? Well, I can tell you it's a lot more than what you're doing right now. It's much more than random or even scheduled posts on your social media channels. Marketing has always been about connecting your audience in the right place at the right time. And today, that means you need to meet them where they are already spending time and where they're hanging out. And that is on the internet. Digital marketing includes all marketing efforts that use an electronic device or the internet. Your business should leverage digital channels such as search engines, social media, email, and other websites to connect with current and prospective customers. So, what's the role of digital marketing in your business? Well, while traditional marketing might exist in print ads and phone communications or physical marketing documents, digital marketing can occur electronically and online. That means that there are a number of endless possibilities for you that include email, video, my favorite, social media, or website marketing. Digital marketing is vital to your business and brand awareness. Now, it's likely that your customers, your competitors, have a website. But even if they don't, they likely have some form of social media presence, which is honestly what most people think about when they hear the term digital marketing. And it's important to note that digital content and marketing is so common today that your customers now expect it and they rely on it as a way to learn about you and your organization. To truly be as competitive of a business owner as you need to be, you'll need to embrace some aspects of digital marketing. Because digital marketing has so many options and strategies associated with it, you can get creative and experiment with a variety of marketing tactics, even on a budget. With digital marketing, you can use tools like analytic dashboards to monitor the success and ROI of your campaigns more than you could with traditional promotional content. Now, there are several types of digital marketing, include SEO, content marketing, social media marketing, PPC, affiliate marketing, email marketing, online marketing, inbound marketing, sponsored content. You can just keep going with what's available. But each of these actually require a strategy. But the good thing about digital marketing is that you don't have to use all of them, especially all at once. You can try one or two, you can measure the success, and then you can try another one. Measuring the success of each of these is critical to ensuring that your strategy is both meaningful and effective. Now, I get this question on a regular basis. Hey, Sid, will this actually work in our industry? And the answer is absolutely it will. But most companies don't have a true strategy behind delivering content online. And they definitely aren't focused on cultivating a heavy online presence. They don't see it as important. But I'm here to tell you that it is not only important, it is absolutely vital for your business to have a digital strategy. Digital marketing can work in any business, in any industry. It does not matter what your company sells. Digital marketing involves building out buyer personas to identify your audience's needs and creating valuable, easy, accessible online content. Now, since our primary business is B2B, your digital marketing efforts will likely be centered around online lead generation, with the end goal being for the prospective client to actually speak to a salesperson. Now, for that reason, the role of your marketing strategy is really to attract and convert the highest quality leads for your salespeople via your website or supporting digital channels. Now, beyond your website, you'll likely or probably choose to focus your efforts with business-focused channels like LinkedIn, where your typical demographic is spending the majority of their time. However, a strong case can be made for us to dive deeper into a B2C strategy. And with this, it's likely that the goal of your digital marketing would be to attract people to your website and have them become customers without ever needing to speak to a salesperson. Meaning that if you don't already have an e-commerce as part of your platform, you'll need it for the B2C customer. For B2C, you'll also likely need to focus on channels like Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, where this buyer is typically hanging out. So I'd like to show you a couple of examples of really effective digital marketing. Both of these are great examples of what is an effective digital marketing program, both from a personal brand perspective as well as a company perspective. Here you see Kay Sargent, who I mentioned earlier with HOK, sharing a live stream that she'll be part of about the ecosystem of work, similar to the topic of my podcast. It's clean, it's to the point, and the call to action is super easy. Register for this event. This is a great example of brand awareness and adding a lot of value for her followers, clients, and prospects. Now, over here on the right, you see one from Formcraft. This is also a great example of really, really good and effective digital marketing. Now, why is that? Because they're adding value. They're telling you, click this link and go see a case study of a project that we did that is a great example of the modern workplace that fostered collaboration and improved communication. This is awesome because it's sending people to your website to see your work, and neither one of these are selling, they're adding value. And I want to reinforce again the importance of embracing digital media. And I want to share a graph with you that was actually posted on Monday of this week by Forbes magazine, and it's called A Minute on the Internet. Take a look at this. A minute on the internet. Now, this is data from 2019. Can only imagine what it looks like today. But in a minute on the internet, all of these things happen. 1 million people log into Facebook. There are 4.5 million videos watched on YouTube. There are 46,000 plus new posts on Instagram. There's $1 million spent, or almost $1 million spent online in a minute on the internet. And there are 3.8 million Google searches and Google requests done in a minute on the internet. I'm telling you, this graph alone is more than enough reason for you to get into the digital marketing game. All right, so I want to wrap all this up and I want to pull it all together. And I think it's important that moving forward, that your sales strategy really incorporate these 4 core elements. It all starts with becoming an industry expert and not just a product expert. You must be focused on being a problem-centric seller and not a product-centric seller. Both of these require that you invest in education and training of your people. And once you're committed to the growth and development of your team, then you can move forward to deploying sales enablement as part of your culture while leveraging digital marketing as an important component of your strategy. As I said in the beginning, the future is bright, but it will be different from the way we've worked in the past. And now is the time. Now is your time to create a powerful, inspiring vision of the future, of your future. And it all starts with transforming your sales strategy to meet a post-COVID world. Now, I know I gave you a lot of information. There's a lot of context in there and a lot of action steps. So we put together a resource document for you that's going to basically give you the information that we talked about, some resources and guides that will help you in creating your new strategy. You can get this document on my website. Just go to sidmeadows.com/transform, and you'll be able to download the document. Again, this document will give you everything that you need to walk you through some of the principles and the action steps that I talked about here today. You know, I want to take a minute and just say thank you. It's been my pleasure to be here with you. I don't know who's actually here, so I don't know if I know any of you or not. If I don't know you and I'm not already connected with you, I'd welcome the opportunity to do that. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can, as well as Instagram, Facebook. I'm on Twitter. My email address is listed there, as is my website listed there. And if you do reach out to me and I don't know you and not connected with you, please let me know that you participated today and that you're a part of this, and let me know on the LinkedIn request. All right. So I also want to thank you again for being here. I think I'm running out of time, and I am. I also want to thank 2020 for providing this forum for me. And you've got any questions about this, you can visit 2020 Spaces. Again, thank you everybody very much. Please reach out if I can help you, and go get that resource document, okay?